Oh, I think we just stripped out. There we go.
You only got a little bit of movement.
No, this is not an episode of Duck Dynasty.
Wait a minute.
It's Full Circle Garage. You're in the right place. We've got another project on the lift. Dan the man, as we call him. He's here to help me on the SRT4. He's actually helped me on this prior, and we're gonna get into that today.
Again.
So like I said, this isn't our first rodeo doing this. However, the first time this thing went down the day after I got it from my wife. We didn't film it because basically we were just trying to get the car back on the road and enjoy it. But after about 1,000 miles, here we are again. Actually, my wife has just learned to drive 5-speed. She's been enjoying the car. And we were supposed to go on her first car meet and we were all gonna ride. Jessica was driving her car as well. It didn't work out. The night prior, the car went down in the middle of an intersection because the fuel pump died again. After probably about a week of doing some research, speaking to some guys who have really high power SRT4s, this is a common problem. We're gonna go through the fuel system on this. We're gonna take the fuel tank down. We're going to change the pump assembly out, add some new features to it, check the fuel filter, and we're gonna clean the injectors just to make sure this thing is 100% good to go. We don't have any more problems with the fuel system. There's beginning to be a pattern here. This is all we do is fuel systems. Basically what we've got right now is an AEM 340 liter an hour pump. It is E85 rated. We've got a special adapter made by Holley, and we'll get into that, that actually attaches to the pump. We have the most important part of this project, which is a Holley Hydramat, some various fittings, magnets. Again, we'll get into that a little bit later. Do have some fuel pump kits because we're going to use these corrugated tubes and some flex tape. No, there's not a leak, and we're not going to film one of those stupid commercials.
You may have seen a few people test Flex Seal on a bucket. Now that's a lot of damage.
But there's a reason for that, and we'll get into it here in a minute. We are going to make sure that the fuel system's in tip-top shape. So Dan's gonna help me get the fuel rail off. We're gonna get the fuel injectors in the cleaning machine, let those clean while we're getting the fuel pump out of the tank. That way we can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Good to go there? Yeah. Get a little tip here when you got a workbench that's stainless. Just write on it. You know what's what. Essentially what I'm doing is just we use seafoam, put that in there and use that as a cleaner for the ultrasonic cleaner. And some people put them in the little tray here, but if I can, I like to lay them down, completely submerge them. It just vibrates them more, it gets all the trash and stuff out of them. One, I'll put it on 10 minutes of max, but I'm gonna do these probably about 30 minutes total. We'll get a look in there to see what it looks like.
Yeah, one's full, one's empty.
All right, yeah, just get that one, and then I don't know what's in the other one. Let's make sure 85 or something from, in the spirit of Jared, going up, going down. He has to do that every time it goes down. All right, so the fuel tank is half full. We don't want to be trying to pull this out with all the fuel in it. So what we're going to do is actually disconnect the fuel pump harness, back probe that, the bulkhead in the fuel pump hanger, and pump out the fuel. The pump is dying.
Tired. Oh
The pump's dying, bro. It won't hold the pressure necessary for the car to run, but it's got enough to at least get the fuel out of the tank. So that's what we're gonna do now. Definitely need some more. It's clean on the bottom though.
no. What's that?
The bottom of it's clean, the injector.
Yeah. Goodbye zip ties.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one off. These stupid lines, bro. So we're gonna take this fuel pump, the feed line here off. We're gonna take the fuel filter out too, just to inspect it. Waste any of that corn juice. She's nice and wet.
On your arm.
God.
It's literally just long enough.
Is it? Nice.
All right, ready?
Yep, here we go. We got fuel.
Tired. Oh no.
The pump's dying, bro.
Dude, how's that thing still spitting stuff out?
I don't know. More fuel leaking here. Good thing is all this evaporates.
Yeah.
So we got the fuel filter over here at the workbench and at the vise. We're gonna take it apart, unscrew the outlet, and then just inspect the element inside, make sure we don't have any kind of gunk or any kind of dirty filter we need to replace. Let's see what we got. Usually whenever you take these apart, there is a O-ring inside. So you just gotta be aware of that. I'm hoping this is a stainless element, which it is. Actually, looks really good inside here. And there's not like trash. A lot of times when you see E85 break down, it'll almost be like a powder. It'll kind of jam up inside these pleats, but everything looks good. So we are going to continue to use this.
Still going. I feel like we're reaching our end point here though, because she's still going, but not a lot. Come on, let there be life. Oh,
You got like, it was like, So you gotta smack it to make it, work a little hard. Now it's fuel tank time. These two bolts are actually different sizes, and that's because they stripped out on this side. So that was a whole fiasco last time. I think it just stripped out.
it's about to be fun.
Oh, good.
All right. Leaking out there. I forgot about the evap line.
Oh shit.
Oh, there it is.
Well, didn't forget about it. It popped off on its own. There we go. Yeah, it's got a lot of fuel left in it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take the fuel pump assembly off, take this ring off, and then that way we can dump the rest of the fuel, because there's quite a bit left in it. That fuel pump's just too dead to be able to get the rest of it out. So, but the good news is we got it out. Everything's good to go there. Let's get that line off. And try to spin it by hand.
Yeah.
You think I'll even be able to?
Look at that.
Yeah, Hulk it, baby. And then this is the fuel tank assembly, maybe.
At some points, the fuel tank assembly. It's also a fantastic seal.
Yeah, it is. Good God. I remember it being that hard to get out last time. There it goes. And that is our fuel tank assembly and our issue, which we'll find out about here in a bit.
Dude, we're still like half a tank.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that heat shield.
Does that shield pop off? Or not?
It's like screwed onto the plastic. I'm scared to break it off. All right, so we got a fuel filter here. We usually use on E85 just so whenever we dump tanks or we have to drain them because of fuel system problems, and that just allows us to reuse the fuel. So we're gonna dump this in there.
You see, this has a lot more in it
Than the last time.
Yeah.
You got you.
Oh, nice. Let me get my knee under there. And
There you go.
okay. I'd say we're probably not that far off from this one filling and overflowing. You want to stop there and check?
Yeah.
We're still, yeah, I would say we're probably full.
No, we still got a little bit in there.
Okay.
Still got some more.
Hold on, let me grab the funnel again. Yeah, that was still a lot of fuel. I would say that's definitely good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely good. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna back into here.
It's part of it, man. When you're doing fuel systems, it just gets messy. You try to do the best you can. Mainly got this filter for race fuel. When we dump it out,
Right.
and dump it back in.
Yeah, there was still a lot of fuel in here. Mm-hmm. That pump deceived us.
See if there's anything left. Not empty.
She's drained.
All right, so we got the fuel tank out. We got the fuel pump assembly out. And now it's time to address the issue. This tank, after doing a bunch of research, has a lot of major flaws in it. But essentially, inside the tank, the fuel pump assembly sits inside this direction and the fuel pump sock lays on the bottom of the tank. The problem is that there is no baffle inside this tank. This fuel system, whenever I got it, was installed with a 525 Walbro pump. The problem is that's way more fuel than what this needs. And so we're gonna address that with a new fuel pump. We've got to be able to get the fuel to stay inside the pump assembly when it's returned, and also make sure that the fuel is not running away from the sock, that the fuel pump's not getting hot. And that drives the current draw up on the pump and it essentially makes it burn up. So under acceleration, the fuel is running away from this pickup and from the assembly, and then on hard braking, it's running away. This tank's only about 12 gallons. So at a half a tank, there's not a lot of fuel spread out across this thing, and it wants to run away a lot. So again, that's what we're gonna address. 525 fuel pumps are gonna run about 25 to 30 amps. And again, if the fuel isn't keeping this thing cool, it is gonna drive the current up, which is gonna prematurely kill the pump. What you'll end up seeing a lot of times when you have a relay kit and the amperage rises, it'll burn up the connector in here. A lot of guys end up changing the fuel pump, and it ends up being that they have a connection problem on top of the high current draw and the fuel running away from the pump. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff you end up running into. The connector that goes to the bulkhead does not want to come loose.
That explains a lot. Yeah,
yep. So thankfully this system's new. We haven't run into that. All the pins and connectors are good. We've checked that, looked that over. But how we're going to change this system, if you're familiar with a 525 fuel pump, it has a large base on the bottom of the pump. We're actually gonna be switching to an AEM 340 liter an hour pump. This is E85 safe. Now, unlike a 525 or a 450, it doesn't have that large bottom. How this is gonna help us is, one, this is enough fuel for the power that we make. This is way more than what we need. This pump at maximum flow is about 14 amps, which is really close to a stock pump. So that's just gonna make sure that we don't overheat any wiring. We're not having any issues there. It also is easier to cool this pump versus 25, 30 amps that draws. Second is the fuel sock. So on a regular fuel sock, there is no way for this sock to wick fuel. When I say wick, kind of like a candle, how it pulls or draws the wax in. There's no way for it to do that. And so if this isn't submerged in fuel, then the pump's not gonna pick it up. If it runs away from it, it's gonna cavitate, pump air into the system. That's something that we're gonna address by adding this. This is a really cool product, Holley Hydramat. Without having a baffle, this is the next best thing. Or filter sock actually has the ability to wick fuel. And when I say wick, and you'll see in the video, you can literally dip this corner right here into fuel and it'll suck it right up into the pump and it won't cavitate. We got the 15x8 and we're actually gonna put this long way. So say this is the front of the car and the rear. That way, whenever we're under hard braking, it still has a pickup point, and when we're under hard acceleration, it's got a pickup point there. That's gonna keep fuel always in the pump, keep it from cavitating, and also keeping the pump cool. We're going to keep this return into the canister so that way it fills up with fuel and keeps the pump cool that way as well. The fix for these helps mitigate that problem and keep from burning up pumps. And so that's what we're gonna tackle now. So as I pry that out.
Yeah, I don't want to pull that hard on that. Did you get it? Oh no, something else is popping around. That is crazy, it's not releasing.
Yeah, it's not releasing at all. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff you end up running into. The connector that goes to the bulkhead does not want to come loose. The positive wire also kind of popped loose there too, which is not reassuring. Work it.
Don't want to break it.
Work it. I just don't want to come out and hit you while I'm doing it. Oh, that's what I'm worried about right there. Bingo.
Look, the connector was welding itself together.
So remember that connector issue I was talking about? And the amperage rises, it'll burn up the connector in here.
There it is.
It did have that problem. It's on the inside.
Yep, right there.
You can see it right there on that end, how it's black.
That explains a lot. Yeah,
yep.
That's
All right, so we got the pump assembly apart. As you could see inside that connector, it had melted a little bit right here. Did get a little bit burnt down here at the bottom on that, but I think we caught it just in time. We were able to chip away that so that that red wire connects inside. I checked the resistance across this to make sure we didn't have any buildup on the pin and cause it to burn up. But again, this is why we're switching from a 525 pump that's 30 amps down to a 340 that maxes out at 14 amps. This is closer to a stock amount of amperage, and it's just gonna help us from messing anything up further. And I think we just caught it just in time before anything got messed up really bad. So I'm gonna heat this up and take the ends off and start assembling this pump setup. We've got everything clamped up. We're just kind of getting the distance of the wire. Next part is we've got this end here from Holley. This is going to allow us to put a 3/8 barb to be able to run this other hose to the Hydramat. This piece here is CNC'd out to match the bottom of the pump. So we're going to put this on so we can get it clamped up. Might have to put some lube around this pump just to get it in there. Yeah, so it's a tight fit, man. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but just trying to push that clamp. It's like right there. Just trying to get this damn thing on there. Yeah, that ain't jiving. All right, so it wouldn't be a day in the shop without going to the auto parts store. Yeah. We were trying to put this Holley adapter here that's gonna allow us to put that corrugated tube on. And unfortunately the clamp snapped in half when we went to go tighten it. Yeah, so we're gonna go and see if we can find this exact size clamp. Yeah. Which is really, it's kind of specific. So we'll see what happens. Let's go down the road here and see what we can find. Let's do it.
One eternity later.
It ain't coming off there. That's the one thing I will say though. Look at that. Heck yeah, it's gonna line up perfect. For a clamp, we can just use a zip tie. At least I think, I hope. Nope. We know it's definitely on there.
Is it sealed? Same fit. If you think about it, the zip tie was actually sealing it some.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. All right, so what we were kind of fighting is the inlet on the pump. There is a O-ring in here. Whenever that seals off, you're basically sucking through a straw. So if you take a straw and you poke a hole in it, it's not gonna be able to draw as much liquid in. And that's what I was worried about. As I was blowing on it, I was hearing pressure. So I was just worried about that seal. I think that's negligent, that it's not really gonna make a difference. So we're gonna put the zip tie back on there. It seems to hold even better than the clamp. And we're gonna call it good. Continue on with putting this thing together.
Are we hitting the barb?
That's what I'm checking. Yeah, it is just a little bit right there. Yeah, let's cut. Yeah, just a little bit. We're almost there. Almost there. He's got something stuck. Let the pressure up a little bit.
Oh, the connector wasn't all the way on?
Okay. Yeah, so basically what this is doing, back flushing the injector. That way if there's any kind of sediment or anything on the inlet of the injector, it'll keep it from getting stopped up. 2, 1. Let's get our clamp. All right, so we got our barb here. Gonna clamp this bad boy down. Let's make sure we got it at a 90 degrees. Pretty good right there?
Yeah.
All right, ain't coming off.
She's on there.
Now we can put this on. That Hydramat on there. So one thing to keep in mind when you go to put this back in the tank, Dan and I ran into this before, got it all assembled and the bulkheads came loose and we actually were leaking fuel out. So make sure before you put it back in that these are tight. Otherwise you're gonna be pulling the tank again and that's no fun. All right, last thing before the fuel pump goes in, we're gonna attach these magnets. This is just gonna help us with the plastic tank. We've got 20-pound magnets on the other side. Put that inside, and then on the bottom side of the tank, it's gonna help this Hydramat stay in place. Also, on the bottom of the tank, the straps that go across here that hold it to the rear of the car, from the factory or either somebody, their handiwork, they put a piece of duct tape here and it was all dry rotted. That metal clamp just kind of vibrating on here. We're actually gonna use some flex tape because it's rubberized.
Test Flex Seal on a bucket.
I've used this on other tanks before and just cut a piece so that the strap has something to lay against. Yeah, this stuff's sticky, man. The backing's what's hard to get off. Oh, yes, that side. Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Did it have some there? Connector, everything's good. You got this snapped in, right? Everything's good there.
Yep, that's snapped in already. Hooked
All
up.
right. Going in with the fuel pump assembly. That light. Hang on 1 second. Dan. Good? Pinching the seal.
Have
Have some
yeah,
weight
we
on
could
it.
probably get it then.
You know what I'm saying? But at least it's got some,
I'm setting the magnet right here.
it's got something to hold it, at least for now, in position.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
Hold on a second.
Oh, look at that.
I think it just stripped out. Well, everything went in nice the first time. And now we got another.
No.
Yeah, thread said no. We got another strip bolt. That's what happened on the other side last time, just from people taking the tank in and out over the years. But we've done it before, so at least we know now what we got to do to fix it. All right, so we're gonna drill this out. And we're gonna add a bolt and a nut. So nothing else to do except get on with it. I'm just gonna slowly step up the bits until the threaded section pops out of there. The reason I'm not drilling it all at one time, I don't want the hole to be too big and then we can't get the actual bolt through that hole. Stepping it up one at a time. Stick it up through the hole. There it is. Nice. That little piece used to have threads on it. Had to get rid of that so that we can put a bolt and a nut through it. The same angle we went in at. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on, there we go. All right, here.
Get
a pair of pliers.
Sucker out.
God almighty. We drilled that hole out where it was spot welded and put a new larger bolt and nut. Yep, thank you. Got everything bolted up. We're gonna go ahead and put the fuel filter in and hook all the lines up and fill it up with fuel. We do have one magnet that doesn't want to catch. Once we put the weight of the fuel in there, we think we'll be able to hook that up. And then we should be able to crank this thing and see how it does. So what we're gonna do, since that fuel pump is actually gonna draw less amps, we don't want a really high amp fuse in there, so we're actually gonna change that out and see what we got in here currently. We got a 30 amp fuse, which is way more amps than we need to run on that. So we're gonna drop down to, 20 amp fuse. Another key tip for you guys, anytime you're using fuses, do not use cheap fuses off Amazon from Harbor Freight. You need to get you a Bussmann fuse. Those are ones that are actually made for factory vehicles, for OEM. The reason why you don't want to use those other ones is because the resistance across the fuse is not correct and it actually will not pop. It'll allow the amperage to get so high and it'll burn the wiring up. Use a Bussmann fuse. All right guys, so Dan and I have been working all day. Jared's been working all day. Not here, but he did finally join us and helping us finish up the SRT4. He's changing the oil while Dan and I finished up hooking up the lines for the fuel pump.
This is the only thing they trust me to do. And the vacuuming. I get to vacuum after this. All right, guys, I'm over here changing oil, and what you want to do is when you put the oil filter on, you want to slowly rotate it and screw it on. Then this is a technique, so you kind of like flick of the wrist like this. And then once you get really, really tight to it, you kind of All right, bear with me. You grab it and you grip it like one of those midnight, you know, meat sessions. And you tighten it up. Now you probably get a little oil in your hand. It just makes it a little more funner. But you really, really want to grip this thing.
A little more funner.
Yeah, that's a southern term. And you
Funner.
give it all you got.
I want to get it off whenever I change oil next.
That's all you do, baby. And guys, and that's how you put an oil filter on. Follow me for more tips. Going down!
He has to do that every time it goes down. All right, well. Yeah, that's good. All right, you want to grab this number 3?
Yes.
This thing better be running top notch.
Better.
So you'd be ready for the Hellcats.
Right? Hell kitty.
What we're doing here is just putting a little bit of lube on things. On the O-rings, so everything goes in there nice and slick.
The rest of them are?
Yeah.
I get them too slow. I got that.
There we go.
You only got a little bit of movement.
He's doing something behind me, ain't he?
You'll see the YouTube video. We're LGBTQ VZ friendly.
Sit down. Oh, okay.
That should be fun.
Yeah. Swap sides of it.
Y'all need any help?
Just keep vacuuming.
All right. All right, guys, in all seriousness, I know we joke around a lot, but we do run a 1550 weight oil. And that's because of heat, especially if your stuff is built, you need to definitely be running a 50 weight oil. And if you drive your like you stole it, you need to be running a 50 weight oil.
This is true.
Even though his wife might not drive this car like she stole it, but she can't drive, so it's like
Kind of like the same thing. Nah, she is doing a really good job learning. But,
she's doing good.
But I drive it like I stole it when I take it out. So.
If you're making pulls, use a 50 weight oil.
Yeah, just the heat, zinc content, and usually looser tolerances on these older engines, 90s, early 2000s stuff. Get about this much in there, and then we'll put the, see if we can get the magnet.
You ready?
Yeah.
Going up! Slowly.
If only it moved at the speed at which you say that.
I know.
You just can't turn hard right.
What was that supposed to be in like the middle or something?
It's just off to the side, just so it connects. I'd rather use, well here, I'll put that one in, maybe it's double strength. Filters on, plugs in, fuel filters on, everything's tight. All right, let's see if we get some fuel pressure. There we go, hold up, it's getting some. Yeah, that too.
There we go.
There we go, it's going.
Come on, Zaddy.
30.
Come on, Zaddy, give us some more. Yeah, we're at 60 over here, baby. Yeah, baby.
Hey, that's more than any of those other pumps had.
Yeah,
So that's a good sign.
Quit teasing it.
All right, let's go.
All
Ready?
right, here we go. You're at about 48,
Good.
49.
All right.
Hold it.
Yeah, about 48 on the gauge. So we'll let it get hot, and then I'll set base pressure. All right, guys, so it's been about a week, so I want to give you a quick little update. We had an issue where my wife was actually driving the car, and at about half a tank of fuel, we were getting bucking. And not only that, but we started losing our fuel level rapidly. Thought that there might be another issue with the pickup, and got underneath the car and realized that the cheap fittings and hoses that are on this vehicle are causing a leak. And I want to show you really quick what that looks like. So I've bypassed the wire so we can hook it up to the battery directly. Let's see what happens with this fuel line here. This is what cheap fuel lines do. Now, whenever my wife was idling at a stop, this was pouring out, but you can see it running. Spend your money on the right thing. So I talked to the guys over at Color Fittings. You guys know they sponsor the channel. Not only that, but we are gonna be carrying their product on the website, so stay tuned for that when that releases later this year. But they are gonna be supplying us PTFE line for this setup and brand new purple fittings to match the car. So we'll have some photos and updates in the video so you guys can see what that turned out like. All right guys, so it's a success. We've got fuel pressure, the car's running. We gotta spend some time cleaning things up, getting it running on the street, make sure everything's good there. But big thanks to Dan for coming back, helping me a second time do this fuel pump.
Not on the ground this time.
Not on the ground, it's nice to use the lift. Shout out to Jared for showing up here at the end of the day and changing oil.
Change the oil, I vacuum.
But
That rug is spotless. He messed it up after I did.
Yeah, what's that leaf?
Yeah, you know. Hey, eyes on me. Eyes on me, bro.
But guys, if you haven't, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. It goes a long way. We really appreciate it. Make sure you guys tune in to next week. Not sure which car is going to be up next, if it's going to be the Viper or we're going to do this again, but we'll have something good for you.
We need to throw some Ignite in there and go rip it.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. We'll do that.
Y'all want to see that? Let's blow some front tires off. How about that?
There you go. So, next episode, it's running. Throw some Ignite in it, and we'll go make some rips. See you guys next week.
Look at that shine. You're stealing it.
All right.
Yeah. Massive. Cleaning real good. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. There we go. Yeah.
Put that spit shine on there.